Election results 2017. The Democratic Unionist Party. The Democratic Unionists look set to be the power brokers in an election that intended to bring stability but has ended in a hung parliament. Theresa May has said she will form a government with the support of the Democratic Unionist Party, though it is not clear what kind of arrangement this will be. Despite party leader Arlene Foster warning it would be difficult for the Prime Minister to stay in No 10, discussions are certainly going on behind the scenes. The focus for the pro-Brexit dupe, which returned 10 MPs to Westminster, will be the border. After Brexit, the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland becomes a new frontier, and the dupe is not in favour of a so-called hard border. This means no checkpoints or intrusive enforcement. So no hard border, but in the round, the party's vision of Brexit is a fairly hard one. It was the most Eurosceptic party in the UK before the ascent of UKIP. The party has certainly garnered a bit of a reputation for its strong views. It opposes same-sex marriage and is anti-abortion. Abortion remains illegal in Northern Ireland, except in specific medical cases. Dupe East Antrim MP Sammy Wilson, a devout climate change denier, was once Northern Ireland's Environment Minister. Marvin Storey, the party's former education spokesman, once called for creationism, the belief that human life did not evolve over millions of years but was created by God to be taught alongside evolution in science classes. He has also objected to an exhibition on evolution in the Ulster Museum and Science at the Giant's Causeway in his North Antrim constituency. Back to Brexit, and the party wants to leave the EU customs union. Our manifesto says there should be progress on new free trade deals with the rest of the world. Like the Conservatives, they want a new customs arrangement with the EU without specifying what it should be. One red line is the idea of Northern Ireland being granted some sort of special status when Brexit comes to pass. The dupe will not stand for any arrangement that physically sets the region apart from anywhere else in the UK. In its 2017 manifesto, the dupe called for the triple lock on pensions to be retained, for VAT to be cut for tourism businesses, and for the personal tax allowance to be increased. After a tumultuous night for the Conservatives, Prime Minister Theresa May has lost her majority in the House of Commons, and the mandate she was expecting from the British people. But with more seats than any other party, she has the first opportunity to form a government, but she needs to have an overall majority of 326 MPs to get legislation past the House of Commons. The dupe plays a key role in this, as their increased Northern Ireland majority of 10 seats could get Mrs May's Queen's Speech through Parliament. Ahead of the election, Northern Ireland's largest party made clear its preference was for a Conservative rather than Labour government. The DUP's most senior MPs, including its Westminster leader Nigel Dodds, have been consistently critical of the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, particularly for his past links with Sinn Féin and his stance on security issues. The dupe has evolved from being a party of protest into a party of power. For decades it was led by its founder Rev Ian Paisley, a man who embodied hardline unionism. During the Northern Ireland peace process, the party withdrew from talks as a protest against Sinn Féin and the Republican movement being involved in the peace process. But over the years relations thawed and the dupe became a party of government. In 2007, Mr Paisley became First Minister in Stormont, Northern Ireland's seat of government, with Sinn Féin's Martin McGuinness acting as Deputy First Minister. Mr Paisley got on so well with the former IRA commander that they were nicknamed the Chuckle Brothers. The party remained electorally dominant under its next leader Peter Robinson, but relations between nationalists and unionists in the country's fragile power-sharing executive began to cool. After Mr Robinson lost his Westminster seat in the 2015 general election, Mrs Foster took over as party leader in December 2015, and First Minister in 2016. But her leadership has been sullied by controversy over the renewable heat incentive deal, which saw the power-sharing executive collapse in 2017, causing a snap election in Stormont. After Sinn Féin made significant gains in that election, the dupe based its Westminster campaign around a call to defend the union, saying unionists had to turn out to rebut Republican demands for a referendum on Irish unity. Northern Ireland is still without a government itself, and the DUP will now find its politicians sitting at two negotiating tables when talks to restore power-sharing resume.